I'm gonna just call all of us out. The reason we have clutches is because yes, they're nice accessories, but it's easier to pose when you're holding something. Look at this thing I'm holding. It's easier, but I can guarantee you no one has anything in those clutches. You cannot fit anything in them, nothing. Hey Glamour, Lilly Singh here, and today I'm gonna be breaking down some of my most memorable looks. Oh, looking at this picture again, it excites me, but I also feel like 10 pounds of anxiety, I won't lie. The 2019 Met Gala was a movie. It was a scene, it was an experience. It took me like 10 hours to get ready for the Met Gala. The look consisted of this. This is a Jeremy Scott gown. The reason I loved it was because it was a flower. So it's made of petals, and I thought my name is Lily, this makes perfect sense. The theme was also Ken. And so it was very over the top. It was very difficult to walk in and to put on. In fact, it took about 4 people to lift the dress over me, and I had to stand still, and then they essentially installed it on me legitimately with like just thread and safety pins, so I could not get out of it. Peeing was not an option. I could drink no water, I vividly remember. I had to take a bus to the Met Gala because the dress was so big. And my hair, you know, as long as my hair is, we actually, I think, tripled the length of it and put in these fresh flowers, which was one of my favorite hair moments ever. Then we had this very cool look with the gloves and the jewelry over the gloves. Now here's the thing that I didn't think about is that the rings were so tight on the gloves, so I couldn't take the gloves off. And to use any type of touchscreen device, I had to take the gloves off. And so I was basically throughout the entire Met Gala being like, excuse me, can you touch my phone, and then point it to my face? Or I couldn't use my phone, I couldn't pee, I couldn't do anything, but I won't lie, I do have regrets about this because I wish I could move. The necklace and the jewels and all of that stuff, that is, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. My stylist was like, if you lose these, you will disappear. You and your family will disappear because these are worth so much money. And so all of the jewels I were wearing, I was so tense about losing them. My head was hurting a little bit from the weight of this fake hair. The dress was large, but the saving grace was, because the dress was so big and long, you couldn't see my shoes, and my shoes underneath, sneakers, baby. I might have been the only person at the Met Gala rocking sneakers, so at least my feet didn't hurt, but everything else, totally in pain. Oscar outfit. This is a custom piece by Adim, and I am obsessed with it. It's one of my favorite looks. This was a combination of pants with a belt that had a cape attached with a long jacket. So it's not actually a skirt or a dress, I know it looks that way, but it's 3 separate pieces. And the reason I did that was because when I actually got into the party, I could switch the look by taking off the belt, and it would then be a pantsuit. The purse that matches fit absolutely nothing. It was useless, although beautiful, which is much the case with any clutch I've ever held on any red carpet. Have you seen an iPhone these days? An iPhone is 6 times the size of that purse, let's just be real. My favorite part of this look is definitely the pearls in my hair. This was the genius of my stylist, where we glued pearls into my hairline, and they actually, every single pearl stayed the entire night. Not a single pearl fell, which is pretty incredible. From the jewelry to the outfit to the accessories, I love this look. Having said that, if you look at the Vanity Fair picture when my hair is over my left shoulder, that is happening for a very specific reason. It's because after the Oscars finished and everyone was waiting for their car, I was being asked by, I believe it was America Ferrera, who said to me she was going to the Jay-Z after party. And obviously I got no invite to no Jay-Z after party. So there I was trying to front, being like, oh no, I think there's another party. So I was like trying to front, and while fronting and trying to act casual, I put my arm up on this table and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to like another. And she looks at me and she goes, your elbows in coffee. And I'm like, oh, and there was a huge puddle of coffee on the table, and whatever that elbow, I guess it was my left one, there's a huge stain on this pure white outfit that I realized when I got to this party. And so I went whoop, and took the picture, and you don't see it at all, but that stain is still very much there, and it is not nice. No Tide Pod has gotten that out yet. But I still have this outfit. It takes up a lot of space in my closet, and I have no regrets. I love it so much. This is from my recent TED Talk. I'm wearing a suit by Hebe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I am confident I am. This moment was so nerve-wracking for me. TED Talks are completely memorized. It was a 19-minute talk. I had to perform, I had to say stats with specific numbers. I had to flip sides and I had to work with props. So there was a lot of things going on. And I remember telling my stylist, I want to wear something that makes me feel so confident and so secure, but also something that's just me. I want to go on that stage, I want to bring myself to that stage, and I want to have fun. And so this suit just fit so well. It made me feel so confident. I, of course, was wearing sneakers. And I just feel like the reason I delivered such a great speech was, yes, I rehearsed and I was prepared, but I just felt great about myself. The color was striking. It also completely perfectly matched the background, which was not a mistake. I got the stage layout, sent it to my stylist, and I said, the stage has to complement me completely. So it worked out really, really great. And I'm really proud of this moment, as nerve-wracking as it was. Is there perhaps a little bit of vomit on this suit from being nervous? Maybe. Now, I've been fortunate enough to sit at a few seats at a few different tables, and what I've learned is, when you get the seat, trying to fix the seat won't fix the problem. Why? Because the table was never built for us in the first place. The solution? Build better tables. My TED Talk was titled, Gender Equity is Not Giving Women a Seat at the Table. And it was all about how throughout my life I've had the privilege to sit at many seats, at many different tables, and they've all kind of sucked because you get a seat at the table and your chair's a little wobbly and no one else at the table can relate to you and you don't get the same resources as everyone else at the table. And so I had suggested that instead of fighting for seats at these old tables, instead we should build new, better tables that actually serve the people that deserve to sit there, women. All of these suits are kind of just me, you know? I wanted to be able to move, I wanted to be able to be goofy, and I wanted to be able to, again, it's really, in my opinion, maybe other people disagree with me, for me it's really tough to do anything comedic if you feel restricted. Like if I was worried about, oh my God, this is showing, I need to pull this up, I would just not be able to perform. And so all of these decisions are just made so I can be my authentic, goofy self. I look at some of them now, and I won't lie, some of them I really, really like, and some of them I'm like, a little questionable, but for the most part, I really liked my vibe for the show. I think it was really unique and brought myself to late night. You know, the thing about doing anything as the first, and there was a lot of firsts associated with the shows, there is a little bit of pressure of conforming to what people expect that first to be. And so I do recall for the first season of the show, there was a conversation about like presenting what my wardrobe choices would be to the powers that be. They were all fine with those choices, but I made it very clear from the beginning that I don't want, just because I'm the only female right now, I don't want to do what is expected of a female. Again, I'm all about degendering fashion, so I didn't want to do the dresses and the heels. Sometimes it was suggested that perhaps I do that, but I never really cared about being feminine enough or not feminine enough. I just wanted to be myself. And so I think perhaps I wasn't able to do that throughout the entire experience in all ways, but I definitely think, at least with the way I dressed, was very authentically me. Every sneaker you see here, I did. Those boots right there, yep, I have in my house. A classic, Paramjeet and Manjeet Singh. I mean, are there any looks that are as iconic as this in my repertoire? Probably not. A lot of people don't know this, but I never had an intention to set out to dress up like my parents and make them characters. Prior to this video, anytime I had my parents in a video, my friends would play my parents. I would call my friends over and I would say, dress up like my mom, dress up like my dad, and let's just do the sketch. But I started to make videos so consistently that my friends were like, stop calling me. I can't come over every day to dress up for your YouTube videos. So one day I was just like, I'll do it myself.
Lily, you're almost old enough. We think it is time for us to have the talk.
Mom, I'm 32 years old, okay? I have a chiropractor.
This is a real outfit, I think, from back in the day my mom owned. I put on these glasses that were like a pair of broken glasses that she had. And this started what would be a long series on my channel where I dress up like my parents, but it was never my intention. I didn't think people would fall as in love with them as they did. The look here is simple. It's an old Indian salwar kameez that my mom is wearing. This is kind of gross, but it is so delicate. The embroidery on it is so delicate that I rarely wash it, and I've been wearing it for literally 10 years. The dad character, Manjeet, this is, yes, I'm sad to say, one of my dad's real shirts. I know, it's a real shirt of my dad's. It also, I have no excuse for not washing this one. It's just a cotton shirt, but I don't do it. It's just too precious to me. But there is so much black eyeshadow on the collar from the chest hair that I draw on my chest that I often forget to take off. It's happened a lot, where I don't take off the chest hair and then I throw on a sports bra and go outside and someone points out to me that I have chest hair on my chest. The wig I also only have one of. It's a scene. The wig is falling apart also. It's way too big for my head. It is hanging on by a thread, but these are things that they're one of a kind. I don't have duplicates, so I just have to hang on to them. The beard is also black eyeshadow. I use a lot of black eyeshadow. It takes a lot to get it on and off. But this is, the reason I like playing these characters is I think they tap into the extremes of my culture. This is not actually how my parents are. They make me say that. This is not actually how my parents are. Of course, there's traits of my parents that are in them, but I think this is just me taking certain characteristics I see in all types of people and heightening them. But really what I hope people see is a little bit of themselves in these characters and a little bit of their upbringing, because I definitely see that, and I think a lot of South Asians see themselves in these characters, so they're really special to me. Oh my goodness, just a young girl in her youth here. Types of videos. When I started YouTube in 2010, very quickly I found my love for these types of videos because this was my way of kind of understanding the world, you know? Myself being a South Asian girl who went against all the types I was supposed to be with being loud and wearing baggy clothes and being so outspoken, I was really intrigued in just these boxes people get put in. And so I made videos that would make fun of these boxes by jokingly labeling people like 5 types of friends that are annoying, 5 types of parents you might have, 5 types of people at the movies, and this became a really big hit with my audience. But something I would do in my videos is I would always say, "What up, T-shirt reference? What if everyone it's a girl, Superwoman? What if everyone it's a girl, Superwoman? What if everyone it's a girl, Superwoman? Oh, snap, crackle, pop." So I would reference whatever was on my T-shirt to make a joke. Now I did this once and I was like, cool. My audience loved it. And from that moment on, anytime I went shopping, I literally would just stare at the T-shirts and try to think of jokes, and that's how I would shop. I would only buy clothes to make jokes about what was on the front. So this resulted in like hundreds of T-shirts that were just kind of ridiculous that I only wore a few times, that are still, till this day, in my childhood bedroom. Like these shirts literally are still in my childhood bedroom. It's hard for me to part ways with them. They remind me of this time right here in my childhood bedroom in front of this wall where I kind of figured it all out. This career that I have stemmed from this. So they're a little close to my heart. Like I vividly remember this top, this pink shirt. This was an Airbnb I would continuously rent in LA before I moved here. And I literally came like once a month and I would shoot videos in LA, and that reminds me of just this time when I was so scared to take a step in my career, but I would keep coming here and keep trying new things. And so that like means a lot to me. That shirt is associated with just like, this fearless energy I have. So I'm just gonna have to make a quilt out of it and just wrap myself in it until the end of time, I guess. Thanks, Glamour. It was so much fun to go down memory lane with you.